Brandon, how do you see it, bro?
I pretty much agree with you, Tel. I don't think Arsenal will win it. I think City will win it, but you can't definitively write Arsenal or Liverpool off in the title race. Probably not even Chelsea at the moment either. You know, they seem to be doing their business. I know they've got to play tougher teams and all the rest of it, but you know, I think we're in for an interesting title race. Although I think City will just pip everybody to it in the end. I think today was a game of two halves, really. It was nice to see Arsenal play some attacking football for once. You know, Mikel Arteta tends to be very reserved, especially throughout this season. I don't remember Arsenal ever opening up in the way that we did in that first half. I think, you know, Saka took his goal really well. Marino as well. Excellent delivery by Declan Rice, not just that time, but before that as well. And I was a little disappointed, I ain't going to lie, to go in at half time just 2-1 up. I was kind of thinking, you know, we need the third. We know that Liverpool are going to come out in the second half and, you know, change something. And they did. And even before, you know, the Gabriel injury, Liverpool were on top in the second half. And I do think we kind of went into our shell a little bit. But then from then on, you kind of have to look on it in two ways, really. I think Arsenal were unlucky today in terms of the injuries. Gabriel and Timber, we know Timber wasn't fully fit anyway, but to pick up another injury on that back line with Gabriel as well and have to bring on Kivior and Lewis Skelly isn't an ideal situation. But then also we was quite lucky that Liverpool didn't do what they probably should have done, which is, you know, realise that we are extremely weak and open up and actually have a go. And I didn't really see Liverpool do that. So we're lucky in that sense because it could have been a different story if Liverpool had done that, I think. But yeah, it's a little worrying, Tel, I ain't going to lie, because, you know, the one area of the pitch that I thought going into the season after the transfer window where Arsenal are absolutely stacked is, of course, across the back line. And now we're having to play the likes of Kivior and Lewis Skelly because of injuries. It's a little worrying. We've been very unlucky with things like that. We will get Saliba back in the next game. But on the Saliba situation as well, again, I'm not going to look into it too much because I think Liverpool are at fault for not taking advantage of our back line without Saliba. But I do think we defended very well without Saliba today, which is something that we don't tend to see from Arsenal. I've always said that Saliba is kind of the glue to this Arsenal back line. He's the cool, calm, collected head at the back. And a lot of the time, when he's not there, you tend to see a little bit of a little bit of panic in the Arsenal back line. And it wasn't there today. I thought we dealt with Salah really well. I thought we dealt with Nunes and Diaz really well, especially in the first half. I just kind of wish that, you know, we'd have carried on the second half in the same manner that we started the first half and ended the first half. But look, it's not disaster. We've got plenty of tough fixtures coming up. I just hope we could get some of these players back from injury and go from there, mate, to be fair.
I think that's fair, mate. Listen, again, as a neutral to this game, watching it, I've heard both fans say I'm happy with this, disappointed with that. This team should have done more of this. The other team should have done that. I just also think this was two teams that are very good that had periods of the game where they cancelled each other out and periods of the game where they stopped one another. And that's what happens when two good teams play at times. And I also don't think, look, City are a different animal. We know this, one of the greatest English sides of all time that's currently playing. But this is how good teams typically, throughout the history of the Barclays Premier League, play against one another. It's ebbs and flow within games, and we saw that today. And I think that, you know, the title race-wise, it's definitely not off right now. I would probably put Arsenal as third favourites now rather than second favourites, but you're still talking marginal differences. If next weekend Arsenal win and Liverpool and City both lose, the world will change its opinions again. And if one weekend's worth of results can change opinions, the idea that it's over is certainly crazy. I want to go to some of these super chats here and get the panel's reaction. Welcome, by the way, Robert, as well. Thank you for waiting patiently behind the scenes. This is more frustrated With the injuries and the score, Liverpool played well. Never thought I'd say this, but I'm looking forward to the international break, and hopefully we can get a full squad. Yeah, look, I mean, look, what you're hoping for is that Gabriel's is precautionary. Saliba's back for the next game. I'm sure Timbers was also just tiredness as opposed to the injury again. So you are going to start getting players back, and it's only 3 or 4 weeks to say until Odegaard is back. So if you can keep yourselves in between 5 points to being top, whatever it is, between now and when those players come back, it's game on as far as I can see.
Yeah, I got something to say about our chat. I'm sorry. Can we pull it up back? We can do catch up.
I've already unstarted. Go on, mate. Go on, Robert.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we can do catch up because we have 4 games that if we don't do well, no matter how much we try to catch up after the break, we might not win. We got to remember that this injuries is very, very it's crucial to how we're gonna go forward as Arsenal. After this, we play Newcastle, we play Chelsea, and then we play 3 other teams, and then after January, the January break, the teams we play are Leicester City, Brighton again, Villa again. We kind of played the same thing we started the start of the season. So now remember how do we go from all of that and try to do catch up with injury, expecting us to go?
I understand you. I understand, Robert. But what I would say is this, right? Chelsea are a good team, but I watched them today, and them and Newcastle. Newcastle should have equalised at the end of the game. Okay, Arsenal are going to have chances in that football match, and let's see how bad Gabriel's injury is. But you're probably going to have all of your main defence back by then. When it comes to Newcastle, they're 1 point ahead of Man United, sitting in 12th position, and they're 11th if you just look at their home record. I mean this with no disrespect. If you can't go and beat Newcastle away right now, Arsenal, then you don't deserve to even call yourselves in a title race. Newcastle right now are awful. And the same as if you went away to Man United right now, away to West Ham, away to Nottingham Forest, away to Leicester, even away to Fulham, all of these teams, I still think you'll beat. You would narrowly missed out on beating one of the best teams in Europe today. I feel you'll beat Newcastle. And I think you've got a great chance to beat this. Chelsea have had an excellent start to the season. You look at Chelsea's home record this season. It's in 8th in the league. I just don't think it's like, oh my God, we've got to go away. The world's coming to an end. You're also going to have players back by that point. Listen, I do get where you're coming from. You don't want to be 8 points, 10 points behind come sort of January. But yeah. I just wouldn't be panicking about that right now if I was you, personally.
No, the reason why I'm not panicking, saying our league, it's over. I know we have a lot to play for, and we're game week 9. What I'm saying is that understand that next week after Newcastle we're playing Inter Milan away,
and Chelsea,
and then we're playing Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're gonna play.
After that, it gets easier, brother.
We're gonna play
after that
away. These are 3 very difficult.
Never gets easy. This is the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand. We are Arsenal.
You've got to get results. There's no doubt about it. You've got to win some of those games. Again, I'm an outsider. I'm not an Arsenal fan, as many people like to claim that I am. Listen, let me just throw this out there. You've lost 1 game away from home in the Premier League in 2024, and how many games at home in in the calendar year have you lost at home in that time? Genuine question. I don't know the answer.
No, I think Porto
1 against Villa in the league. I'm talking in the league.
Oh, just 2.
Yeah, once. So this is a team that's lost 2 games domestically in the league in the calendar year. I get what you're saying. We have to win some of these games that are coming up, but your win percentage is so high. This is why I don't understand the level of the concern.
The injuries, isn't it? The players missing. That's why.
Yeah, but you've had these injuries and these players missing, and you've got results, and you start getting players back now because Saliba's back. Saliba missed 1 game.
I mean, look. To be fair, after
I'm not
Chelsea
worried in
international break, yeah, after Chelsea's international break, and we come back to play Forest, Sporting, West Ham, United, Fulham. The fixtures get a lot more favourable. So for me, it's more about just riding out this storm in the next 2 games, which is Newcastle away. Because as bad as they've been, notoriously, we don't have the greatest record.
Yeah,
going up to St James's Park. So there's a few
and you are right. There's no easy games with Sam.
Robert would be right if they don't get the results in said games. That's it.
Yeah.
No, we understand that,
but it's not about my bad. My apologies. It's not about that. It's about understanding that, like last season, they said the same thing. We remember the whole games of Fulham where we lost. We lost to Villa. No, we lost to West Ham.
We lost to West Ham, Fulham, and Villa.
Oh yeah, you remember this whole time we didn't have injuries that bad, and now it like.
No, I do understand, but I understand why you're worrying. Yeah. I'm also just stating the games that come after the international break. I wouldn't even be thinking about them right now. I remember a gal asked me once years ago, "Are you worried about this game again?" We had a game against Chelsea, and it was like in 6 weeks' time. I was like, "I'm not even thinking about 6 weeks' time. I'm just not. It's not on my mind." And the games do get more favourable. And I know there's no such thing as easy games, but then you play West Ham that are awful, Man United are awful, Fulham decent. At home to Everton, rubbish. Palace, I know they won today, but they're awful. Then you play at home to Ipswich. Like you could lose some of those games. You could now go on a 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak. It's plausible Arsenal do that, which is why I don't personally, from an outsider, get the panic. Let me try and get through some of these super chats because we are getting very close to the end of the show. Sorry, guys. Liverpool players stopped playing when they heard the whistle. Konate would have stopped it. I understand that point. The problem is PGMOL and its shit referees using VAR incorrectly. No other league or competition in the world has these issues week in, week out. The FA and the clubs need to step up or it will continue. I agree, D-Town, you're right. Arsenal fans always crying. He made a foul on Sobo. Referee blew the whistle before the ball goes into the net, and Liverpool already stopped the play and are missing Jota. The point people are making here is that the whistle shouldn't have blown. It was in an attacking scenario, and the protocol states you let it play on. You know, every now and then you'll see this. You watch a game, and every offside, if the player is running through towards that goal in some way, then they're meant to let it play out. Every now and then they blow an early whistle, the flag goes up early, and I think, why this time? You've got to make sure the protocols are run. Liverpool had 4 red.
Konate one worse. I just wanted to ask, did you not think the Konate tackle was worse?
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even a foul. Like, Kivio's not fouled him, bro. He's just running, won the header. Sebastian's not even complained. He's just turned around and watched what's the goal that should have stood. It's a joke.
No one will know what would have happened if the referee wouldn't have blew his whistle, but that's why he's not meant to fucking blow his whistle. Liverpool had 4 reds in 8 games last season, and Igal said it was on Liverpool, and we had to hear this absolute BS. Listen, as I say to yourself, LFC, I don't think any clubs specifically targeted, and I backed Liverpool last year. Some of those decisions were awful. Every game Arsenal don't win, Igal cries. Just stop referees are crap every week, not just to Arsenal. Chelsea have the most yellow cards in the league, by the way. Thank you, Daniel. I think Arteta pissed off the PGMOL. Sorry, bro. Let me just try and get through these super chats. Sorry, my G. Pissed off with the PGMOL, and we never get the 50-50 calls. Then the refs are also bad, and the problem is compounded. I understand that. Referees make bad decisions every other game, so blaming your bottle jobs on refs. Most of the yellows you get are for slowing the game down. Coward tactics. We would have lost the game under Klopp. That's the biggest compliment I can give Slot. Sam needs to chill. Good point. We move. Is what Dal says
Fuck
here.
This Klopp revisionism. Klopp is the only manager to beat Pep Guardiola to a league title in this English Premier League after he had his team ready. Okay? This fucking revisionism makes me sick and nauseated. If Klopp was there, we would have actually gone for the game. And his gung-ho football would actually worked in this game. This revisionism is absolutely stinky. If we were pressing Kivior and pressing Lewis Skelly and he lost the ball and they lose the ball, then we could create counter-attacking opportunities, counter-press opportunities, and win the game. This Klopp revisionism is disgusting, to be honest with you. We were top of the league up until January, with the only loss being the Spurs robbery. Like, let's not sit up here and do this whole Klopp was crap fucking bullshit every week. I'm tired of it.
If you look at the games Arsenal had to play, especially the away games, the injuries and soft red cards we've got. I think we have to praise Arteta and the players that they are only 5 points behind. What's really interesting is that people say that the squad isn't good enough, the manager can't manage these situations. You're only a handful of points off the top, and you've gone through a bad injury crisis. The players have had a lack of discipline, which has cost you points in certain games. You're doing well in the Champions League. You're still in the League Cup. And again, outsider looking in, shows me, I mean, the squad could always be better. I mean, you could always play that game that you could take 5-year players and upgrade them to others and you'd be even better. But so far, there's nothing that says this Arsenal team, it's not been the injuries. It's literally been the games where you had players sent off, because I think you walk away with at least 4 more points without those red cards, and then suddenly you're going to be sitting 1 point off top, then the squad wouldn't be a conversation. I don't effing care what people say. Our defenders were not subbed through injury. Arsenal win, is what AMT says. Today's result was positive for City. It was an example of Liverpool not having killer instinct. Arsenal 2 injured. More points will be dropped. Can someone explain to me why the disallowed Kai's goal? I think we've been through that already, but yeah, the referee already blew the whistle for the foul from Kivior. Lately, we can't play counter-attack football because Martinelli is crap. Yeah, Martinelli he did okay in certain moments, but Kanate had him in his pocket today, especially on those counter-attacks. If Arsenal can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. And Mr. K here says, big up the panel, big up my brother Hassam. I accept the point today, given how poor we were. Still tough fixtures ahead. Hope we can churn out results. That is from Mr. K.
I agree.
Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in.